Yo, hi everybody. Let's just get this adjusted here so we can all look at the sound check. Doing the sound check, doing her sound checky thing. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. We have sound. Um, all right. So today I want to kind of piggyback on what we were talking about yesterday about commitment and being kind to yourself because it's kind of important. I just want to make sure it's kind of important in relegating how effective you can be uh, in the world of business, not only the digital business, the meat space business too, uh, um, um, the employer-employee relationship, as it were. All of these things are factored in to the same problem. Overexertion, exhaustion, fatigue, and all of these things are very detrimental to continuing business. Um, I know it's hard to believe that I get fatigued because I'm just doing this thing. But there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with all of the things that I do, even the things that I enjoy doing. And it's very important to keep in mind what that means, what burnout really is, and how it can happen. Um, so it looks like the whole nobody that's here is all is going to be here for the live. All right, so let's just get started then. Uh, give them 3 minutes. Let me take a sip of my coffee to round out that 3 minutes. All right. Where was I? Yeah. So when we engage in business, we get in our heads about making commitments, keeping our word, being true to the message. Da, 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 and we get that from our worker, our employer-employee relationships, our school relationships when we're children. This is something that is ingrained to us in America, at least since childhood. About when you say you're going to do something, you have to do it. You've committed yourself to it. There's no backing out. This is dangerous talk on a personal psychological health level. It is absolutely dangerous because when you do things like that and you make commitments, well, things aren't always the same. Life changes, situations change, and sometimes you have to back out of those commitments that you made earlier. And that's okay, and you have to understand that that's okay. You can't be expected to control all the facets of the universe, and sometimes life throws a curveball at you and you have to skip out on a commitment. It's one thing, excuse me, it's one thing, and I will admit, if you are a flake is a completely different scenario. If you're a flake, well, you're a horrible person for doing stuff like that. Setting up commitments and then just bailing on them regularly. But if you're a consistent person and you're constantly online or in your business or at every social engagement that you choose to make, um, the people around you should be flexible and understanding when you cannot make it. If that's not the case, then you're around the wrong people. You're around people who feed off of you rather than want to watch you grow or watch you build. From a professional point of view, from a social point of view, you are You just have people who want you around, regardless for their own selfish desires, regardless of your mental health, and that's also a problem. But that being said, um, you know, we all try to not bite off more than we can chew, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes life stacks stuff on that we weren't expecting, and when that happens, it's important to be kind to yourself rather than stand by the commitment, because the fact is that at the end of the day, you don't have another you. There's always another day, but you're not replaceable to yourself. You can't just, fire up the clone machine and be like, all right, take this shit so I can go and do what I got to do. Since that doesn't exist, you only got you. And if you can't function because your plate's too full, because something unexpected happens, the people around you need to be flexible, because you need to be kind to yourself. And if they can't understand that, they are not your people. Why does it look like that guy's vagina lips on his eye?
I went to go look at the network thing, and it's the picture in the video.
That was creepy as all fuck. Anyway,
the random things he sees on my screen.
So, with that being said, we are now in the position of, what was I? The fucking vagina eye guy fucking completely screwed up. So anyway, let's move away from that and back to the topic at hand. There's also a lot to be said about how effective you are as an entrepreneur, as a worker, when you are stressed as opposed to when you are comfortable and relaxed. There have been plenty of studies done all over the world, and it's pretty much a consensus. People operate better when they're not stressed out. So that is another thing to keep in mind when you are high stress, when you don't have any time to get away, stop, relax. It is going to affect your performance absolutely, and that is not in a positive way. It's going to negatively affect your performance, and there's no bones about that. I'm not splitting hairs here. I'm just telling you exactly how it is. You want to perform better, you need to make sure that you're taking time for yourself. That whole self-care thing is actually really important, regardless of what the boomers will tell you. That being said, I think I pretty much said the mouthful of everything. We make commitments. We have to be flexible enough to understand. We have to not beat ourselves up and understand that sometimes life throws curveballs at us, and we have to break those commitments.
For me, being a lifelong epileptic, I kind of had to go a different route than a lot of people. Being your own boss and creator and artisan, you learn these valuable lessons because you don't have time to check out or clock out when you go into a seizure at the job. And believe it or not, they don't take too lightly to somebody having epileptic seizures. That there's a certain amount of rest. I can't control. I can't just get up out of a seizure and be like, hey, I'm gonna call in, or I need to lay down for a minute. They don't in general, bosses, employers don't really take too kindly to that. And so you've had to take things by the reins, the control of your own life. And if you're not watching the signs when your body's fatigued, for me, I go into a seizure. I mean, it's all synergetic, and it's all, tied together. And, it's finding that balance. So, yeah. Take the benefit of being your own boss. And, keep yourself sane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying, be kind to yourself, make commitments, but, be able to be flexible with those. If the people around you can't understand that you need time for yourself, then you're around the wrong people. And you will be more effective if you do take time for yourself when you need it, as opposed to just working yourself into the point where you have to take time off because you're injured or sick. And I think that's pretty much all I got to say about this.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty short and sweet. And I've got a track to write for Bard and Broad tonight.
Oh, yeah. So thank you guys for.
So, yeah, thank you, everybody, for coming by. It was absolutely nobody. It was just you.
Oh.
And we will see you next time. I'll be on at 8 o'clock for Bard and Broad, and then tomorrow for Feature Focus Friday, which you have to talk to Laura Lee and see if she wants to come tomorrow or whatever. Try and figure it out.
I will.
Thanks, everybody, for coming by, and enjoy this musical interlude on the way out.
Yeah.